I'm going to talk in these short videos about my book, Misguided Love, Christians, and the Rupture of LGBTQI2 plus people. This book is published by the Journal of Pastoral Care and Counseling in collaboration with the Harvard University Bookstore. It is a book that was peer-reviewed academically, but is also written for a general audience because of my deep concern with harm that is being done to the LGBTQI2 plus community. In the book, I unpack that very long acronym, but I choose to use a different descriptor: sexual and gender minority people. Our acronyms can get longer and longer as we discover human experience and our understanding expands. And it seems to me that speaking of sexual and gender minority people is a way of capturing that very wide variety of human experiences. My concern is centrally with harm, and my book is written with a focus on what to do about that harm and where it is coming from. When I was working as a pastor and a theologian, I've had a few encounters with people who experience deep harm coming from their Christian experience. One of them was a young student who was about 19 years old, who came to the University of Toronto campus from a fairly conservative Presbyterian church background. And he was on the brink of suicide because he could not reconcile his faith and his sexual orientation. He struggled with this until he found a group on the campus organized by the ecumenical chaplaincy that helped him work through those issues and help him deal with that. I also discovered earlier in my ministry several cases where people actually committed suicide, and was deeply disturbing and shocking to me as a pastor that people would become so distressed by their faith and so deeply ruptured inside that they would take their own lives. And so my concern became, why is this happening, and how can this happen in Christian communities? To do that, I look in the book at short themes. One of them is ethics. How does this all work with Christian ethics? One of them is the social and psychological origins of hatred against sexual and gender minority people. Where does this come from? Why do people feel so strongly about it? And why do they feel this need to work out their feelings against a specific group of people? And I also deal with the Bible, because often I hear Christians say to me, well, the Bible is against homosexuality, so whatever you say, you have to remember that and accept that. The truth of the matter is it's not as simple as that. In fact, the Bible is a very complex book, and the word homosexual does not occur in the Bible, despite modern translations that put it in there. But as my research expanded, I discovered also that there is a very long history to the way that sexual and gender minority people lived within Christian communities, from the earliest Christian communities to today. And there are times when things were very, very hard, and there were times when they were not so hard for sexual and gender minorities. But there's a very, very painful history of torture, of abuse, of killing, and all those things are unpacked in this book.